we were actually talking about this at we went to lunch after filming the other day, and we were talking about Broadcast News. Remember Broadcast News with
Oh,
Will Hart?
yeah.
That was such a great movie.
It
But
was
remember, he
great.
had to sit on the back of his shirt, and then they go, "Oh, that looks good," and they would do all these little things. And I think that that's a must-watch movie for all the weird stuff that happens.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It's
Yeah.
a very important movie for everybody to understand what this is really all about.
Yeah.
Because what you see, and as you described that room that you were in,
Mhm.
these rooms, guys, are totally barren,
Yeah.
except
Very
for
sterile.
very sterile,
Uh-huh.
except for all the camera equipment and all
Right.
the cables that are on the floor. And watch your step, because you can break an ankle
Oh yeah.
by tripping over them. And people have tripped.
Yeah.
But it's a very sterile room, and once it's
Dry. Trying to, oh my, I mean, I had to drink so much water. That's another thing.
Oh, and that too, because, well, especially on the East Coast,
Mhm.
it's freezing outside. So
Yeah.
they put on so much heat so you won't be cold,
Which made the noise.
which made the noise. You can't
Yeah.
turn on air conditioners in some of these cases.
Yeah, you can turn it off. Yeah.
And
It
well,
would come on and off and on and off. You know what I mean? As they're filming. The last time I was there, we rented a loft in downtown in New York. All the sirens keep going by.
and the siren, and okay, so I have been in studios that were so well padded, you think that nobody
Mhm.
can hear anything
Those
outside.
sirens are
But the
loud.
sirens are so, first of all, they're constant.
Yeah.
Second of all, they're so loud that you want to scream. And third of all, I have had to do in the padded rooms, had to stop talking and wait until the sirens. You know how many stops and starts there were?
I could imagine, because this was pretty bad. I mean,
This is-
it was bad. I love doing that filming though. That was with I went back with Verizon, rented this really cool loft, and it was kind of like staged as a cool house, and it was but then you have all this natural light that wasn't super flattering.
Well, that's another
I remember
thing.
looking at the video going, wow, is that what I look like in that light? Yeah, I mean, you sometimes you're not really prepared for that. I mean, they sometimes just film, and it's a in company thing that they're not trying to make you look great. So
Another problem.
that's
for
another
those of
problem.
us- Yeah, for those of us who care about our appearance, yeah, all of a sudden you
Well,
see yourself. Oh,
it was,
wow.
lighting. There wasn't really lighting. It was all natural light. So you didn't have, like most places have, the 8 things of light around your head.
Yes,
I
right.
don't remember having many lights there. I gotta remember. Each one I've done is so completely different. I think a friend of ours has this group in New York that you and I know, and he did my book promo, and they actually did a very good job. I mean, they had good videography, they had great studio setup, and they had good. I mean, the makeup girl did a decent job. You know what I mean? So I mean, each one, you just never know who's going to have the good setup. Is you might think the big names have bigger, better things, and sometimes it's the little guys that have the good stuff, right? I mean, it's weird.
Oh boy. Well, when I saw them do a shoot of you in one of the,
Oh yeah, remember that one?
I
thought would have been a lot better. I was like,
that should have been a whole lot better.
That's what their whole thing was. That's why I'm like,
oh my God. I said, no, you can't go there. No, I would not rent that studio for anything.
it was
They didn't know
really
what
not
the
a
hell
good
they were
job.
doing, and they left junk in the back. I mean, here we are. Look at these little postage stamps that we were having, and we don't have any junk around. I mean, don't you think a professional studio that rents out?
I gotta watch that one again. That was bad.
They put a blotch of white light
on one side.
On one side of your face.
Yeah.
That was the most atrocious I have ever seen anywhere.
I forgot about that one. The one down here in Phoenix that we go to, the TV studio, they were fine. I mean, they don't, it was, I mean, the lighting and everything was fine there.
We can't go there anymore,
Yeah, I know they don't do it, but I think, you look at some of these places and you think maybe it's because it's Phoenix or whatever, but no, I've been in some that were fine here. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, but what do you do? So people are listening to this and they're going, well, this is all well and good, but what
What am
do
I
I,
supposed to do?
yeah.
What am I supposed to do? I'm John Q. Public and I'm walking into a
Right. Is there
room.
any
What do I know about
advice
it?
can you give them?
Okay, first of all, take several different outfits, tops especially, with you. And be very careful about patterns because they do tend to bleed. However, it also depends upon the nature of the fabric and the nature of the camera. So that's very, very important. Secondly, don't wear noisy earrings if you're a female. Well, these days men do crazy things too. So that's all I'm specifying. So don't wear crazy jewelry that's going to make too much sound, and have your information prepared well in advance and know it like the back of your hand. Why? Because the camera people and the directors and the producers and the content creators and everybody else each one of these people is going to make a big deal out of say this word again, say this concept again, do this, and all of a sudden you're talking and thinking about things that have no relevance to anything that you have prepared. So make sure you know what you're talking about well in advance. Do not ever, ever, ever memorize, because in times of stress, the memory is going to go fly out the window and you're not going to remember anything that you had to say, and especially your key points. But keep in mind, have 3 major key points for every presentation you will make. And around that, you can fill in anything. But the camera stuff is not your issue. It's not your problem.